Between the red Protoss player spawning in the top right spawn position here on Daybreak, it is TT Esports Whitera. And in the bottom left, we've got his challenger, currently up a game, hailing from Ukraine, just as Whitera is. He is the Blue Zerg player. He is currently teamless. It is Dimaga. And they are fighting for £170, I believe, total prize money. And I believe first place takes... Oh, well, I always forget because we...
It's 130 and 50 for second place. So everyone's a winner to some extent. One winner wins more, obviously, for coming first. So
everyone who competes is a winner because they get money.
It's like sports day in like kindergarten. Everyone's a winner. But yeah,
participating is more important than winning.
No, it isn't. Not for these two right now. For these two, they want to win. Whitera wants to show that Mass Muta is not a good strategy. Darn it, he's going to try and take it out. However, Dimaga is going to try and prove the point. They're going Mass Void Ray with 2 Colossi and High Templar is not overpowered if you can't get it out. And that was a joke. It's probably not overpowered once people can find a good composition against it. But it looked pretty strong, didn't it, Lurlian?
It did, and with the upcoming change to the beta service, which is going live in approximately 10 real-life minutes, Void Rays are going to get a 4 supply cost instead of just 3, and that's going to mess up, the early use of Void Rays, because you're going to have to build more pylons to be able to sustain them, but especially, this change is oriented towards the late game. You cannot have as many Void Rays in your army as you could before, because a 4 supply, you're going to hit the supply... ceiling earlier than you would do with Void Rays on 3 supply. And to be fair, I think it's okay. I think it's all right for Void Rays to be 4 supply. I don't think it's going to be impacting the game in a very negative way, but I think it's a needed change to bring a little bit of the balance back. I still feel Void Rays are really strong, though, especially against Corruptors and Broodlords, especially against Corruptors, because Corruptors are sort of made to counter Void Rays.
I know, with the new charge upgrade, well, not an upgrade, with the new charge active, they are so good against Corruptors that we're really quite forced to go Hydras to deal with it, or Hydra-infested Terran, but then, of course, Colossus just wreck that. So we get the composition we saw with Whitera. So I think one of the biggest problems we're going to see with Void Ray, or Mass Void Ray at the end, and maybe something that will be addressed, perhaps it'll be sorted by the slight supply increase, is, of course, that it prevents Tier 3. That if there's too many Void Rays out, you just can't go for Corruptors, Broodlord, Infestor, Ultra. That just wouldn't work. So you're forced to stay with Hydras, and once you're forced to stay with Hydras, you end up in some really awkward positions about how do I really deal with this force, and that's what we saw Dimaga struggle with in what was Game 6. And now we're into Game 8. Of course, we do have the potential issue that the beta server is about to go down, Lurlian. So we do, I believe, if I'm keeping count correctly, we've got about 10 minutes of real time, not game time.
Yeah, that's true. But someone in chat just pointed out that MLG is doing a Heart of the Swarms show match at the same time as we are doing one. And they said that Blizzard might postpone the downtime of the service to wait for their thing to finish up. But it could also be pre-recorded, because MLG usually does pre-recorded broadcasts of tournaments and show matches. So it could not really impact them, and it might just be a rumor. But we'll see. It's going to be really tense in 8 real-life minutes. We're going to be keeping an eye on that clock, as we see Whitera has been scouting and harassing a little bit with a Zealot. Are we going to live past that 12 o'clock mark here in the Netherlands? It is.
Who knows? It's luckily not...
It's about as bad as the end of the world.
Yeah, we survived the end of the world. We'll survive the beta servers going down. That'll be fine. We've got, yet again, the Mothership Core being used by Whitera to pick off this Overlord on the high ground. So that's another neat little trick that Whitera's using. It's not revolutionary by any means, but it's just getting maximum effect out of these new units. But Whitera has yet again gone for this Stargate and is getting Oracles. Dimaga has not scouted it. He does not know that's coming, and that is quite important. He also did see, though, that there is no +1 being researched from the Forge, or anything being researched from the Forge, which should be an indicator that it's quite likely to be air, just due to the fact that if it wasn't, then any kind of Immortal Sentry push wouldn't really work. Whitera Dimaga rather has scouted, of course, that this third base is coming down though. So this is very, very similar to the build White Ra's been doing in many of these games, which is the Stargate into the super quick third. And it's been effective. He's been able to hold it very well. And I think potentially one thing that could be quite good against this is if Dimaga just went for a really, really big push into that third base. I'm talking maybe even like a Roach Ling push, hitting early with a lot of units, because
could have been good. Yeah,
could have been good. It's a missed opportunity now, but if I was coming up against this and I was trying to meta game White Ra, so to speak, I'd throw that out in one of the games just due to how consistently he's been going for this build.
You're right. That would have been a good option, like 3 minutes ago for Dimaga, but now he's already committed to going for the mutas again. He's got 6 gases mining for a long time already. He already has 600 gas. We're going to see him take his 4th base with this drone in the top left, so he's once again going to be expanding to a 4th really quickly, 9 minutes into this game, and he's trying to repeat the build that he's just done on the previous map on Daybreak this time.
Yeah, he's going nice. I mean, there's no reason why you wouldn't go for Aspire and go for Mutas after it was so successful last game. There's just, why wouldn't you? But there we go, the Spire coming down. He's also got the +1/+1 melee upgrades. The Oracle's on their way through. The Spore Crawler trying to come down. 2 Queens up in the main base. 2 Oracles will beat 2 Queens, especially when a Phoenix lifts one of them. So this is good play already out of White Ra. The Spore Crawler is getting some shots off, and the Oracle needs to micro that back, does manage to do so. Still some drones going down, we're getting a good number of kills, and this is really where Oracles are strong. If you get them in the middle line and deal damage, but one goes down there, and White Ra forced to retreat, Lurlian.
10 workers killed though. Ooh, has to be careful not to lose Oracles. Has been losing Oracles every now and then, a little bit careless. Does regain control of the Phoenix, so he's not going to be losing units carelessly this time around. The Spire is 75% done. And oh my god, we're going to see a crazy amount of mutas being produced once again. I'm expecting 14, 15 mutas to be on the way at the same time, and the 4th and the 5th base being taken. Gas is on the way. Dimaga's playing the exact same build that he did in last game. And White Ra, he's not changing his style. He is going for Colossus, which is the worst possible outcome, which is the worst possible course of action. He needs that Twilight Council much more badly. He needs a Templar Archive. He needs Storm so badly. And Blink, of course.
He does, and of course, this is actually a worse situation, as you quite rightly say, for White Ra, because he isn't getting up the... He went DTs in the previous game against this, so he had the option to get the Archons out quickly, but instead now we're just seeing the wrong tech path to deal with this. The Spire, if I can locate the Spire, I know I did see it earlier, has been scouted now. So obviously White Ra is able to start countering that. He's starting Phoenix production, which is another option if your micro is feeling very, very confident. But still, Dimaga is getting up a good number of Mutalisks, already at 14.
Has been scouted, though. There was a bit of a skirmish at the 3rd base of Dimaga where an Oracle was killing a lot of drones. That Oracle killed another 5 workers, which is definitely good there, and did catch those mutas hatching. So White Ra knows what's coming. He immediately started Phoenix production, is starting the +1 air upgrade, but he doesn't have the Stalker count. He doesn't have Blink. He doesn't have any kind of Archons, and his Mothership Core going to fall really quickly. Does kill 1 muta with the Photon Overcharge ability used on the 3rd base Nexus. Here comes the mutas into the natural. There's not enough Stalkers. This is so painful to watch. The Beast of the East. Actually, they're both beasts from the East because they're both from Ukraine. So I guess calling a certain player the Beast from the East is not going to really do much in this certain case.
It's descriptive. They're very descriptive of you there, Lurlian. But of course, Phoenix and Voidray have managed to push back these Mutalisks for the time being, but more reinforcements coming in. 7 more in production behind this as well. That's going to take us over the 20 mark, and that's when things can... That's going to get sick. And just some good news for everyone, that the beta servers are being delayed on their downtime, so we will be able to keep going.
Yeah, we'll definitely be able to close this series out. Even if White Ra wins this series, we've got plenty of time to finish this best of 9. So good news for everyone. Good news for me. I would love to see a 9th game between these two people, get it down to the ace match. And we do have the Fleet Beacon now finished up. That is going to be, of course, to research the range upgrade for the Phoenix. There it is, the Onion Pulse Crystal. That's what it used to be called. It is still called that. It's like an onion, but with an A, so it's like an Onion Pulse Crystal. Oh, the Phoenix getting caught here a little bit. Has to be careful not to lose the Phoenix before that range upgrade finishes.
They do indeed, and the Phoenix, even with the range upgrade, they are still quite micro-intensive. The Void Raid's getting taken down. All of those Zealots are going to die as well very quickly. The Phoenix are coming in, but the Colossus is going to fall as well. Some Speedlings coming in, and my goodness, this was a good engagement. for Dimaga, and Waiwa losing quite a lot of things there. He's kiting with the Phoenix for his very life. But as we're seeing, the Zealots and ground army getting cleaned up. Something went down there, the Mothership core went down. Of course, the cancel likely to get forced here. And with that, Dimaga is really nailing down hard because he's got his 4th and 5th up. Dimaga's stuck on 3 bases.
White Ras stuck on 3 bases, that's right.
White Ras.
He's in a lot of trouble right now. The Mutas are at his gates. The Phoenix do have +1. They do have the...
Paused.
That was the most... Oh, that pause.
That's a little bit... that's a little bit BM, if you ask me.
Okay. So, apparently Waiwa says it's GG anyway. And the game is... He exited. So... pretty sure Dimaga's won now. Yeah. There's not really any arguing with that.
Dimaga, he's going to be taking this show match series 5-3 over White Ras.